Hey guys, good morning, good morning. Yes, my name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977, a rough start this morning. I just walked in a couple minutes ago. There was a broken down train track. I'm a little out of breath too because I had to run through the front door, run to the elevator, and been running around this radio station for the last 90 seconds. Well, welcome. There is a lot to talk about today. Oh man, how many of you caught the Kyle Rittenhouse shocking testimony yesterday? Oh my goodness, I mean, that trial yesterday, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial was must-see TV yesterday. And I've watched, hold on, here we go. I've watched a lot of these high-profile trials over the years. Menendez, OJ, Casey Anthony, George Zimmerman. There's been a whole bunch of them. I have watched so many of these high-profile trials over the years, and they all seem so important and exciting at the time. But I have never seen what I saw yesterday in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. It was insane. At first, it was shocking enough that Kyle Rittenhouse took the stand. Caught me off guard. I was not expecting that, and it didn't sound like the commentators on Court TV and elsewhere expected that either. And even in the courtroom, I felt like yeah. And when I saw Kyle Rittenhouse taking the stand, I thought that was a mistake at first. Didn't you? You know, usually when people are on trial for murder and they take the stand, it doesn't go that well. And another thing I was thinking, this prosecutor is a complete Keystone prosecutor, like Keystone Cop. He's a clown. And the case was going so well. One of the prosecution's witnesses that was shot by Kyle Rittenhouse said that he shot me in self-defense earlier this week. There was another prosecution witness that talked about how the prosecution tried to get him to alter his testimony and all that. And things are going so well. Why would they put Kyle Rittenhouse up on the stand? It didn't seem to make sense until really it got in. Even that first segment with his defense attorney, that's smooth sailing, which you would expect. And we'll get into the emotional PTSD moment that Kyle Rittenhouse suffered from. But when the prosecutor started his questioning of Kyle Rittenhouse, that was insane. Kyle Rittenhouse knows the laws better than the prosecutor. This prosecutor, from what I understand, he ran for office there before to be the local state's attorney, lost. Guess he's planning on running again. What's he going to run on? Elect me? I'm incompetent? This attorney, that's the prosecuting attorney. I have never seen a prosecuting attorney be humiliated by a witness on trial for murders ever. Ever. And I'm wondering, was he so caught off guard or is he just incompetent? He doesn't even know the gun laws of his state. How can he doesn't even know the gun laws. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, no dancing around it, I believe Kyle Rittenhouse. Do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse? I want to hear from you. Do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse? Yes or no? I do believe Kyle. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Watching the testimony from Kyle Rittenhouse yesterday walk through each of these incidents where he shot someone. 2 of them are dead. Each one of them was textbook self-defense. A lot of people say, well, he shouldn't have been there with a gun. Well, he was. And we find out now in the court, I mean, he did not even break gun laws. I was talking to a caller about this yesterday. You cannot own a long gun, a rifle, in this country before you are 18 years old. You have to be 18 years old to own, but you can possess. Same goes for cars, doesn't it? You can be in possession of a long gun under the age of 18. You just cannot own it like a car. You know, someone who is 100% blind, completely visually impaired. I'm not talking about legally blind. I'm talking about like completely blind. They can own cars. Probably guns too. I don't know. I would imagine. You just can't get a license to drive a car when you're blind. But you can own a car. Same goes for the guns with someone who's 18. And as I was talking yesterday, my first gun I had when I was 12, a 410 shotgun. I didn't own it. And a lot of people get freaked out watching people walk around with guns out in the open. Wisconsin's an open carry state. Here in Florida, we're not. Here in Florida, we're concealed carry. I wish that we were open carry. I don't carry because, like right now I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. How am I going to, how am I going to conceal my Glock 48? I mean, I could maybe conceal my 38, maybe. It wouldn't be too comfortable, because this is Florida. The weather. If we were open carry, I'd probably carry my Glock or my 38 or alternate or something. But it's open carry, and it's not California, it's not New York, it's open carry. So you can do it. Someone said I could carry a mini revolver. No mini revolvers for me, people. No mini revolvers for me. So I was incredibly moved. And I will tell you that, full disclosure here, when Kyle Rittenhouse broke down, obviously suffering from very severe PTSD, I was tearing up for the guy. Were you guys tearing up for the kid? I was tearing up for the kid. Pretty sad thing. I want to hear your thoughts, your calls on everything you saw and experienced in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'll take a call or two before our first break. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
I'm watching this thing every day. There's a section with a bunch of lawyers on there, all conservative lawyers, and they comment throughout the whole thing, which is they're using the feed of Court TV. It's actually better. I think it's Riker Law or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. I don't watch it too much because I want to, but I know I have seen it come up in my YouTube feed.
Yeah. So here's the deal. He should have been there with the gun. That's what you'll hear from the left. But you also hear from the left that these are protesters, and they have a right to protest with pipes, breaking cars, and burning.
And chains and everything else. Well, listen, a lot shouldn't have been there. Shouldn't have been there. Listen, it would have been nice if he slow down, Richie. We're here till 9. It would have been probably preferable for Kyle Rittenhouse himself if he was not there, but he was there, and he had every right to be there, just as he had more of a right to be there than those so-called protesters that were burning the place down.
Yeah, he was there with good intentions. He had the rifle loaded to protect himself against maniacs like the pedophile who got out of the mental hospital that threatened them and then try to attack them and corner them. That's number one. Then this prosecutor. How many times is he going to say, you killed a man because he was going to hit you over the head with a skateboard? I almost fell out of my chair when I heard that. I really, any sane person thinking, you know what a skateboard, you got skateboards, man. If I swing that with all my might on your head, am I going to kill you?
I'm a longboarder. I have longboards, which are long skateboards, but I have regular skateboards too. if I hit you, Richie, in the head with my skateboard, it could kill you. I mean, first off, it's hard wood because it holds up my body, and I can even jump up and down on it. But I've got the wheels there, and you could kill somebody with a skateboard, no question about it.
Kill somebody by somebody jumping in the air and stopping.
I don't know. My dad told me when he was in Marine Corps boot camp, he learned how to kill somebody with 1 and 2 fingers. So, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a question you have to ask. He wasn't a law enforcement officer, but do you think any police officer being attacked in any of those 3 ways or 4 ways or whatever would have pulled his revolver out and shot?
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Well, the first 2 guys, the first one very, very much so, but the first 2 guys, sadly, I'm sorry that anyone died. I'm sorry that anyone died, and obviously Kyle Rittenhouse is as well. But the first 2 that he shot both grabbed the gun. The first one grabbed the barrel of a gun, and I saw a still photograph of the first person that was shot. What the heck were those pants and boots he was wearing? Very strange person, scary as hell. And he grabbed his gun. What are you to do when someone, I was talking about this before. I took a concealed weapons course with Steve once years ago. That was a course that was very advanced to teach you how to handle yourself in a situation like that. When you've got, now not with a rifle, but with a handgun, and you're in close quarters like that. And I wanted to get a shoulder holster. And the guy went and put a shoulder holster on me and came over and took the gun out of the holster and had it pointed right at me. I never thought about a shoulder holster again. When you were in a fight and you have a weapon, you've got to, and they go for that gun. That's it. What are they going to do when they get that gun? They're going to turn it on you, and you've got to stop them from taking your weapon. It is a tragedy. But what about the protesters? Why do they question whether they should have been there, or is it just Kyle?
No, just Kyle, because they're leftists. And let me tell you, by the way, a police holster, they can pull it out from their hip one way, but it can't be jerked out of their.
That's right. That's correct. You can't do that with a police weapon. That's right.
So people that, and I'm not a gun person personally. I don't own a gun. You know that. But the fact of the matter is, I believe in self-defense, and this was so. It never should have been brought to trial, but this is all political theater.
This prosecutor, to me, I think this prosecutor is such a sociopath. I don't think he realizes how bad he looked in the courtroom yesterday.
The commander-in-chief, while running, said that he was a white. He chimed in, this moron in the White House, that he was a white supremacist. This guy,
Kyle Rittenhouse,
the creep from Coral Springs that keeps calling you up. This guy is a typical radical leftist idiot who hasn't got a brain in his head, and I hope he calls me this morning, because he really doesn't have any brain in him.
Yeah.
Typically, when he calls up, I cringe, because if he isn't threatening you, and then he hangs up, he runs like a little coward with his tail between his legs. Unbelievable.
Well, I want to stick to what's at hand here. This case yesterday, I'm going to tell you, I have seen many a person testify, okay, in these high-profile trials. Jodi Arias, the Menendez brothers, I have never seen someone who was on trial for murder testify that I believe like that. And this is, don't confuse this with George Zimmerman. Even George Zimmerman, I don't think, claimed that Trayvon tried to take his weapon. But, yeah.
He never lost his cool. And you know who was losing his cool? The prosecutor. He kept on and the same thing over and over. And he tried to confuse his kid, and he was so frustrated.
I was impressed with Kyle Rittenhouse. I thought he was doing something stupid. I thought, well, maybe he told his lawyers, I'm doing it. But I think they realized how good he was telling his truth, his story, that I think the lawyers encouraged him.
Prosecutor's supposed to find the truth as a lawyer. This guy has to be this far. it's obvious that he doesn't care about the truth. He only cares about convictions.
Well, when the defense came up with the dismissal with prejudice, which means the prosecutor can't come back at them, this trial very well could be mistrial with prejudice, which means the prosecutor won't be able to come back at them. But here's my fear. We have a corrupt Attorney General of the United States who very well could come after Kyle if he's acquitted or mistrial with prejudice with some domestic terrorism charges. I would not put it past this Attorney General to do it.
I don't think that would be possible because
they did it to the Rodney King cops. The Rodney King cops were acquitted in the local trial. That's why there was the riots, and Bush 41 got his Justice Department after them for federal charges, and they did time.
I don't think this kid could be convicted anything.
Well, they call parents at school board meetings domestic terrorists. I'm serious about that. So that's. But I'll tell you this: the defense is not done. They're calling up other witnesses, including a police officer. I'm not sure if the police officer is next or going to be their third witness, but they
have an expert on the amount of time. This was another thing. Why did you shoot this guy 4 times? And 4 shots went off in less than a second. It's unbelievable.
Well, when you're in basically a gunfight, you're in a gunfight in a situation like that. 4 shots come out. It's a semi-automatic weapon. Come out very quick. The other one was just 1 shot, and the other 2.
Back, that's another big thing, and that's when the guy kept coming.
Now, I'll tell you another thing, too. Kyle Rittenhouse went to turn himself into the police after the first shooting, and the guy turned him away. And then there were 2 shootings after that. So, that police officer has some... I'm not sure what happened there, but there seems to be some responsibility there.
But he said, "Get away from my car!" And he pepper sprayed Kyle right in the face.
Yeah, when he said I shot someone, and he tried to surrender, and then the other 2 shootings happened. That police, listen, what you had happen there was leftists came to town and caused anarchy. They caused a collapse of the system, of the infrastructure, of public safety, and sadly, the police couldn't even. They didn't even have enough manpower to detain someone who said, "I just shot someone."
And the bottom line is they were protecting their courthouse and their police station. That's why they weren't down the street with the crowd, because the crowd was throwing rocks and bottles. And then this is out of control. This is not peaceful demonstrations anymore. They play with the...
No. Hey, Richie, appreciate the call. Those of you on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll be back to the phones in a moment. I want to tell everyone about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell, and MyPillow. Now, of course, MyPillow has been a sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show for years now. And, of course, you all know I sleep on a MyPillow. I sleep on the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. I sleep on the MyPillow mattress topper. My dog and my cat sleep on the MyPillow pet beds. When I got out of the shower this morning, I dried off with the MyPillow towels, which are the best towels I've ever used. And then, of course, before I came to work this morning, I was wearing my MyPillow, My Slippers around the house before I left for work this morning to come to the radio station. I have a MyPillow home, and I've been telling you about Mike Lindell. I was in a meeting at the beginning of last week with Mike Lindell and other people who represent MyPillow like we do here on the radio, and he was telling us, Mike Lindell, about the cancel culture coming after him because of his support for President Trump. He's being sued for over $1 billion. Their dream is to take his company away from him, to bankrupt him, and of course put all of his workers out of work. And I'm here to tell you, I stand with Mike Lindell. And we're not going to allow them to cancel Mike Lindell. And if you go to our MyPillow page and use our promo code Kane, mypillow.com/Kane, excuse me, Kane, mypillow.com/Kane, you will see deals and low prices that are the lowest you will see on MyPillow products, you will save up to 66% off. The MyPillow mattress topper, which comes in all size mattresses, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, 50% off, all sizes. Whatever size mattress you have, they've got it. And that mattress topper is a life changer. The MyPillow My Slippers, 50% off the MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, buy one set, get a second set free with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. There are many other specials there too. All of them make great Christmas gifts. Those of you out there that have pets, the MyPillow pet beds are great Christmas gifts for your dogs and cats, or the pet parent on your gift giving list. Make sure you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for these exciting, very low deals. And whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
You know, let's do a little exercise here. Let's put ourselves on that jury, all right, and look at the evidence as a juror. Now, the evidence so far as a juror. Now, I do understand
Mike's a man of a few thousand words.
That they got some more. The defense has some more witnesses coming up, but the jury, as it stands right now.
Let's just get to it. Did you see the testimony yesterday, Mike, from Kyle? Do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse?
Oh yes, I believe Kyle Rittenhouse, and if I was on the jury, I would believe Kyle Rittenhouse too. Now, granted, it's going to be interesting to see if this jury will allow itself to be intimidated. You know? Well,
you know, I've been following high-profile trials for a long time, and one thing that is a common thread in every trial is the jury. You can never guess what a jury's going to do, and what I find more often than not, when jurors do interviews, they grab onto pieces of evidence and things that happened that none of us even considered or were thinking was a big deal. You never know. I mean, look at Casey Anthony here in Florida. Remember the one with the girl, and she claimed that the Zanny the nanny and all this stuff? I mean, she was acquitted. What the hell was that jury thinking? You know, she was guilty as hell. You know, so look at the O.J. case. Oh, you know, I mean, Ron Goldman's blood was inside O.J. Simpson's Bronco, inside his Bronco. Think about that. He had a pair of shoes, O.J., that there were only like a couple dozen pairs on the planet. And his shoe prints were in the blood of Ron and Nicole, and they acquitted him. So a jury is always it's a roulette wheel with a jury. You never knew with a jury, and just because it looks like a slam dunk at home watching on the telly, don't be so sure that the jury sees it like we do. I'm telling you, you can never do that.
Right, and that's the thing. And think about this. Remember what's the guy's name that was Obama's friend, Bill Ayers? What he said, guilty as hell, free as a bird, only in America.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, you're on the air. What's on your mind? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Brian. Yeah, this is Linda. I'm calling from Arizona.
Oh.
I just want to say I enjoy your show, and I'm from Kenosha, and I know the judge.
You know the judge personally, or you know of the judge?
I used to work at the courthouse for a short period of time. He's an okay judge, although my impression of Kenosha and the court system is not all that great.
I don't know. This judge seems spectacular to me. You know, the judge's phone the judge's phone rang in the courtroom yesterday. Did you catch what his ringtone was?
I didn't.
This was amazing. This was amazing. Lee Greenwood's "I'm proud to be an American" was his ringtone on the judge's phone. And the way that he handled this prosecutor yesterday, I think he is a spectacular judge. In fact, out of every high-profile case that I've ever seen in a televised national trial, he's the best judge out of all of them who doesn't take any crap.
Right. Yeah, Judge Schroeder, he's been around for a long time in Kenosha. And who was the prosecutor by chance? Do you remember? I mean, I have
the prosecutor's name in this case. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's a clown.
Yeah. Well.
Now, did you watch the testimony of Kyle Rittenhouse yesterday?
I didn't, but I got to go back and start watching it because I know it just started a few days ago.
Oh, you missed. I mean, you missed. And highlights don't do it. If you have the ability to watch this trial as it happens, I know it's busy and it's in the middle of the day, but sneak at work and watch on your phone. You really need to experience it.
Yeah. Well, I watched it as it was happening live because there was two guys that were videotaping everything, and I've seen everything.
Now you're in Arizona. Are you going to vote for Carrie Lake for governor in Arizona?
I like Carrie Lake.
I didn't ask if you like her. Are you going to vote for Carrie Lake for governor?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean? Trump's endorsed her.
He's endorsed her because I'm a Trump girl. Yeah, I really like Carrie Lake. I think she would be good. As far as, she was a great newscaster, but I
interviewed her on my podcast a while back. Trump was just with her. Was it over this weekend he was with her? He was with her recently at an event. So, yeah, why would you even be hesitant about voting for Carrie Lake? Trump says she's all right.
It's not that I'm hesitant. I mean, I like Carrie Lake, so that right there is, yeah. I mean, she's very upfront and everything, and I just think that she'd be good. I mean, next to the previous woman governor that we had, I mean, yeah, she'd be good.
Carrie Lake is awesome. She's awesome, and she stands up for what's right. She walked away from a very high-paying television job, for doing what's right. She's very much like Trump. All right, Arizona, thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Jeff from Coral Springs.
Hey, Jeff.
It was a very interesting day yesterday, and I think that they had Kyle hold back about things that he knew about guns, so he wouldn't look like a gun nut. Like, a couple of the questions that the prosecutor asked was, like, your gun was much bigger than the other guys when you were, like, at the end there. And it was funny because, like, if you're within 2 meters, I would rather have the other guy's gun, not an AR-15. And then he was badgering him about the caliber.
Well, now you watched the testimony. Then I'll ask you, and I'm asking everyone, do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse?
Oh, of course I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because he was asking about the caliber, and a 9mm is much bigger than a .223. The .223 just has a lot more powder. It's the same size.
An AR-15 is a fancy-looking weapon with a lot of bling, but it's really, if you take all the bling off of it, it's like a .22. It's not very impressive of a weapon.
Yeah, and the other thing, he kept making a big deal about him pulling back the charging handle, and he didn't do it because his gun was hot. It already had one in the chamber because with a magazine it feeds up through, and he wouldn't need to charge it. And I could see Kyle was like, they probably prepped him to not talk too much, like when he asked about the hollow tip bullet and the deer.
Well, what Kyle Rittenhouse did not do is he didn't volunteer anything. He answered the questions pretty directly. I thought it was fascinating that he knew more about the gun laws of Wisconsin than the prosecuting attorney knew. The prosecuting attorney thought that it was against the law in Wisconsin for someone under the age of 18 years of age to be in possession of a rifle.
Yeah. I think that Kyle did a good job, and he listened to his attorneys.
I would say he did a spectacular job. He said he's going to school for nursing. He should change that major and become an attorney.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very smart. He didn't offer anything that he didn't need to offer.
I have never seen an attorney argue with a judge in a courtroom before.
Yeah. Now, this guy, this prosecutor, he seems like a very anti-gun kind of a guy, and I think that they want to showcase this for all kinds of gun laws.
Well, this prosecutor's run for office, and he ran, was it public defense? I think he ran for state attorney. He ran for office there and lost. So he's a politician. He's a wannabe elected official. So obviously he thinks this is going to be his way. Now, I don't know too much about the politics of where he's going to be running, but liberals, they probably think he's a big hero yesterday. I was watching the face of the prosecutor quite a bit, in particular when the interactions with the judge, and he looks crazed to me. He looks like the person that's typically on the stand testifying. He looks like he's insane. He does not look like he's lucid. The looks on his face and in his eyes, I mean, is just a very weird guy.
He knows that if he loses this, his career is over.
Not necessarily to liberals, because he was coming in with this gun control angle yesterday. So, to liberals, he may not look like he's doing that bad of a job. They're talking about white privilege on MSNBC.
Yeah, but you could tell that there were areas where maybe Kyle didn't look good, and it was because...
Really? What area was that? I thought he looked good every moment.
I thought he looked good the whole time, but he could have probably been better. But I think...
What are you talking about? Have you ever seen someone testify on TV? Have you ever seen someone testify on TV who's on trial for murder before? I've seen it several times. I've never seen anyone look like this good. I mean, this was... Whew.
So, he looks awesome, but what I'm saying is there were things where he could have talked a lot more and looked like really extremely great.
No, you don't talk more, you talk less. Any syllable you utter that you don't have to is an opportunity for the prosecutor to grab on to something. They're trying to get you to say more than they're asking. No, you don't volunteer, you don't say more, you say as little as possible.
No, I agree, but most people, especially a kid who's his age, he's young, like 18, would have offered like way more stuff. He was so off the chart awesome. He was like an adult doing it.
No doubt. Well, listen, I got to take our break, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse testimony yesterday, and I want to hear your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions, and I also want to ask you, do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse? Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us on any online platform. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on an app somewhere, no matter where you are, it's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been...
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Make sure you like the video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe.
And general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Sole Authority today, 954-597-7060.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All righty, 41 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
RJ, Fort Lauderdale.
No, Ann. Go ahead. No, Ann. The cruise isn't requiring anything. The CDC, the government are.
If the jury comes back.
Well, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I don't know what the judge can do in Wisconsin with a jury verdict. I know I've seen things like that happen here in Florida. I don't know what Wisconsin law is, but the judge is considering the defense's motion. He said he's going to leave it in consideration. The defense's motion to declare a mistrial with prejudice, which means the prosecutors could not come back at Kyle with charges.
What determines if it can be broadcast? A trial can be broadcast or not?
Local laws, like the federal courts don't allow it, and some states don't allow it, but most of them do. Wisconsin obviously does. Yeah.
I think he did real well, and the jury will get sick of that because the prosecutors, spinning a tale to nowhere. I mean, come on. It's conjecture. It's art.
But you never know with a jury. There's one black person on the jury, and liberal media, they keep talking about that like she's obligated to go guilty because he's white to undo some past injustices or something. I was listening to Joy Reid focusing in on the lone black juror, in these cases, like they're supposed to have something to, they're supposed to make decisions based on ethnicity. It's very strange.
The jury will get sick of it. There's sort of grandstanding too, with these trials. The judge and the attorneys, when they're broadcast, they want to look good, right?
Well, this prosecutor from the Star Wars pens he was wearing, it just showed, now again, I have a Star Wars wedding band, my wife and I do. We have regular gold wedding bands, but we also have like another set of wedding bands that are Star Wars wedding bands, and I'm wearing my Star Wars wedding band now. But if I were going to court in a murder trial and I was an attorney in that court, I'd leave the Star Wars wedding band home and put on my gold one. You know what I mean? You gotta show some respect, and I've seen nothing but just disrespect for the law, for the court, for the whole process from this prosecutor. What that prosecutor pulled in the beginning, I was watching that and I was wondering why that was allowed, because Kyle didn't talk to the police. He was bringing that up in court. I've never heard of such a thing. I mean, I've never heard anything, and I was surprised that line of questioning was allowed, because we have the right to remain silent.
You understand?
It was the weakest case I've ever seen.
Well, there you go. So what do you argue?
But the problem is, listen, this jury, we don't know where they're coming from. There could be libs up there on that jury. And if they're a lib, they see that AR-15 that was brought up in the courtroom yesterday. Liberals get scared when an AR-15 is a small weapon. They have a lot of attachments and things that make them look more. All guns are menacing, but they have a lot of attachments which mostly are plastic that people. It's an in vogue gun for young people. When I was a kid growing up, the big gun that everyone wanted, and I've never had one, and I want one, is a 30-30, because the Rifleman, was it Chuck Connors in The Rifleman? He had the 30-30, and I can't remember who was in The Rifleman, and then Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. Everybody wanted Berettas because he had a Beretta in Lethal Weapon, and now the AR-15 is the big gun among young guys that they want. They all want AR-15s. I have no interest in an AR-15, but that's what young guys get now because it's the in vogue gun. There's always an in vogue gun.
Brian, keep up the good work. Hate it. I got to run.
Okay, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, morning, Brian. This is Scott in Kiev.
Hey, Scott, what's up?
Hey, before I have my Rittenhouse, I just wanted to wish all my brothers and sisters out there in arms a happy Veterans Day. Thank you all for your service. God bless your families for the sacrifice. And want to put that out there. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Yeah, and I'll just comment on that real quick. Being Veterans Day, you don't ever hear me thank someone for their service. When they're a service member, a veteran, or a police officer when they call. And the reason I don't do that is I hear a lot of people on radio and television that are conservatives thanking people all the time, for their service. And I find it self-serving. I find like when Hannity thanks someone for their service, it's really him just trying to make himself look good. And it just, to me, I don't have to tell you. Of course, I salute and thank you all for your service. I don't have to constantly tell people every other call that I'm thanking. You know what I mean?
I say the same thing to police officers. I say the same thing to EMT firefighters.
It's almost like some of these guys thank people for their service so much, it's borderline stolen valor. Borderline.
I just feel like this is the one day I just have to say happy. Anyway, okay. So, did you happen to catch Dershowitz on Hannity last night?
I did not.
Because he was specifically asking Dershowitz, why would the defense put Kyle on the stand? And Dershowitz said, yeah, usually you don't do that. He said, but even though you have the presumption of innocence, you still have to sell it to the jury. And he said, also, attorneys don't usually do that unless they think they got the case on lock.
Well, one of the reasons attorneys don't usually do that is because most clients on trial are guilty. So you don't want to put your guilty client on the stand to perjure themselves and lie. So Kyle's got the fact that he's telling the truth and not guilty of these crimes. That's going for him. And they have this clown of a prosecutor as well.
So he asked Dershowitz, how do you think he did in his testimony? He got upset. He said that matched his testimony. So he said that was it went extremely well for him, and he held his composure, like you talked about. And some of the questioning this prosecutor, I can't always stand to listen to this guy. He almost makes me sick to my stomach.
He's a punk. Isn't he a punk? What a, and I got to tell you, the look on his face, he is so condescending to the judge. I have never in my life seen someone disrespectful to a judge like this before, not an attorney.
Right. And, I don't want to see a mistrial because I want to see a non-guilty verdict. And then I am not an attorney.
It wasn't a 30-30?
So if you have any attorneys that listen, I'd like to hear this.
I thought Chuck Connors had 30. Who had the 30-30 then?
3 felonies and 1
was it Shane that had the 30-30? Someone had a 30-30.
When they find him not guilty, could they also argue that if he is found not guilty by reason of his constitutionally protected right to self-defense, that law stating he could not have that, be in possession of that firearm, does that violate his right to self-defense?
I don't understand your question. Ask the end of it. I heard you, but I didn't understand what you are asking.
I'm saying, could they say that law on the books stating that a minor cannot be in possession of firearms, does
that's not the case. A minor can be in possession of a rifle, not a handgun, but a minor can be in possession of a rifle in public in Wisconsin.
But you have the right to self-defend yourself.
Steve McQueen.
You have the right to self-defend, no matter what you're using, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I've heard stories of very young children defending themselves and their families with handguns. I've heard stories like that.
Right. And who was your first caller? Was that Richie, the bus driver?
Yes.
He brought up a really good point because the prosecutor kept saying when he shot Rosenbaum, the first guy, he said after you shot him the first time, you kept shooting. Like that was less than 2 seconds, and another witness already testified. If you got forward momentum, you're going to keep coming. And so it's like they tried to break each one of these down instead of just saying, hey, this guy was attacked by multiple people in the mob. What did you do with this guy? What did you do with this guy? I don't know. I was being attacked by everybody, so I didn't stop and, process each situation, at 100% capacity because it's coming so fast. The prosecutor, just like everybody else, has the gift of hindsight to be able to pick it apart. It just drives me crazy.
The prosecutor doesn't even know the gun laws of his own state.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was my daughter was home, and my daughter was in the other room doing something, and I had the trial on in the living room, and when that interchange happened, my daughter started cracking up. She couldn't believe how Kyle Rittenhouse just wiped the floor of the courtroom with the prosecutor.
I loved how he tried to, of course, like all the libbies, demonize the AR-15. Like you were talking earlier. I've got a .223 semi-automatic rifle. I also have an AR-15. Guess what? They shoot the same exact bullet. They shoot the same round. So,
yeah.
Like you said, one looks scary.
Yeah.
So people see that and they think
it's just like I say. Every generation. By the way, it was Steve McQueen that had the 30-30. Okay, not Chuck Connors. Yeah, every generation there's a popular gun among young guys. Mine was the 30-30 and the Beretta, because of Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon had the Beretta. Everybody wanted a Beretta.
Since he brought up Lethal Weapon, I saw a meme the other day, had a picture of Danny Glover, and he said, just to show you how old you are, Danny Glover was 42 years old when he made that movie, and he used the phrase, "I'm getting too old for this."
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Steve and I got to spend an evening with Mel Gibson once, years ago, and I got goosebumps now, man, because I'm a big Mel Gibson fan. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor. Scott in Kiev said that Danny Glover was 42 years old and said he was getting too old for this. In Lethal Weapon, I am 50, and you don't hear me say that too much. I only say I'm 50 when I'm doing the spots for Dr. Mitch Matez at the bio station. Other than that, I don't say it all that much. I mean, I can remember when my grandmother was 50, yeah? Yeah. So I've been a patient of Dr. Mitch Matez since I turned 45, for 5 years now, and I got to tell you about hormones. Insert them into your hip area. And these are natural hormones that your body makes less of as you grow older. It's part of the aging process. And hormone replacement pellet therapy in both men and women is a life-changing experience. You will get your energy back. You will get your sex drive back. If you're suffering from sexual dysfunction, you'll get that back too. And I talk oftentimes about meeting listeners before and after they begin hormone replacement pellet therapy. It's amazing. I meet listeners. Steve and I will do an appearance somewhere, and they'll be like Biden, some of them worse. They can hardly talk, they can hardly stand, they got hunchbacks, they're scooting their feet, and then I'll see them again a year later, 6 months later, next appearance we do, and they come in, and I can tell when they walk into the room that they're a patient of Dr. Mitch Matez over at the bio station, and they're using hormone replacement pellet therapy because they're standing up tall. They're years younger, and their appearance and the way they talk, and they're, instead of being like, "Oh, hey Brian, I'm a long time listener, I listen every morning," they're like, "Hello Brian, pleased to meet you." And when they shake my hand, it like hurts my hand. It changes. It's a life-changing experience. And the best thing about hormone replacement pellet therapy, it's 100% all natural. Dr. Matez uses hormone replacement pellets himself. And women, the signs and symptoms of menopause. Hormone replacement pellet therapy does all these things I'm telling you about that it does in men and women. But in women, it also stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Night sweats gone. Mood swings gone. Vaginal dryness gone, reversed. You have your sex drive restored as well, women. It is a miracle thing. I don't know why everyone's not doing this. Now, to meet with Dr. Mitch Matez, it is a completely free consultation for listeners of the Steve Kane Radio Show only. People that don't listen to the Steve Kane Show have to pay for that consultation. But it's something that Dr. Matez at the bio station offers at no charge to listeners of the Steve Kane Show. Here's the number. Give him a call. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Dr. Mitch Matez at the bio station. 561-320-8893. All right, now let me just give you an example of what's going on here. Let me play a little bit of Joy Reid last night. This is her analysis of what we saw yesterday in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Why critical race theory exists? The actual law school theory that emphasizes that supposedly colorblind laws in America often still have racially discriminatory outcomes? Then look no further than the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay, now keep in mind, everyone in the Rittenhouse trial is white. Kyle's white, and the people that he shot in self-defense were all white. But this is why we need critical race theory. She is making a racial issue when everyone involved is white. This is her analysis last night after yesterday's dramatic events.
Earlier today, the teenager accused of murdering 2 men and wounding a third in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year took to the stand in his own defense. And the circumstances are almost built for an actual CRT course. The white, now 18-year-old, faces an almost entirely white jury of his peers, with the exception of one black man.
Wow. With the exception of one black man. What the hell does that mean? What's the relevance of that? What are we supposed to have 12% of the jury black and 80% white, and then the other ethnicities? What is she talking about? If white privilege exists, he'd be getting if white privilege exists, Joy Reid, certainly 3 white people's white privilege trumps one person's white privilege. Right? Wouldn't 3, because he shot 3 people, wouldn't their white privilege cancel his out? How can she make a race issue when everyone involved is white?
At one point, Rittenhouse claimed that the initial victim used threatening language that he did not want to repeat. You feel like I was having flashbacks to the George Zimmerman trial, right? I mean, everything from Kyle Rittenhouse using sort of cop speak about trying to stop the threat, saying this sort of really dramatic thing that the person he shot supposedly said that sounded like a gangster movie, and then...
This is nothing like Zimmerman in many, many ways, but one of the things, the reason Zimmerman walked scot-free, there was no video and there were no photographs. And there were no witnesses except George Zimmerman. There was one other witness. His name was Trayvon Martin, and he was dead. So we even had, this week, the third person that Kyle Rittenhouse shot come out and say that Kyle Rittenhouse shot him in self-defense. This is nothing like Zimmerman.
This whole thing of, the whole breaking down and dry heaving in court, that was one thing that we didn't see from Zimmerman, but, making himself the victim.
Joy, today the jurors saw what must be the greatest performance of Kyle Rittenhouse's life. He was well prepared by his defense attorneys to disrupt his image as a trigger-happy vigilante who went on a shooting rampage. This is white privilege on steroids. Rittenhouse testified that after he shot all of these people, he approached the cops and told them that he'd been involved in a shooting, and the officers told him, be careful so that you don't get pepper sprayed and go home.
Let me just remind people of the names of the victims. Joseph Rosenbaum, who was 36 years old, Anthony Huber, who was 26, Gage Grosskreutz, who's only 27 years old, was injured. These are the victims. These are the people that people ought to remember, the people who were hurt here, not the person who was crying on the stand today.
Wow. Joy Reid's a sick, sad woman. I find her broadcast irresponsible. It's a tragedy that anyone was shot. It's a tragedy that people were killed. But all 3 of them tried to kill Kyle Rittenhouse. And this is a textbook example of this liberalism is a mental disorder that Michael Savage has talked about so much with Joy Reid. When everyone involved, the only thing that was black in this case is the gun. The gun's black, but Kyle Rittenhouse is white. The 3 people he shot, they're white. And she still makes it a racial issue. And she acts as if the lone African-American juror has an obligation to render a guilty verdict because they're black and Kyle is white. She's a scary woman, but luckily for us, she's not influential. She discredits herself with every broadcast. All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll take our break. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back with your calls after this break. Do not go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 14.
Be right back, guys.
FM 95.3, 96.9.
South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, everyone. Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Scott, when you install radiant barrier in people's attics, it saves them money every month on their electric bill forever. But right now, you're offering a huge discount. Why are you able to save, Steve Kane listeners so much on Radiant Barrier right now.
Winter is just about upon us, and our guys are able to move really quick, really fast, really efficient in your attic. So if you need any work up in your attic, such as Radiant Barrier to cut your electric bill 30 to 40%, if you need insulation work, if you need duct work, now's the time to call. At this time of the year, because the attic's much, much cooler, the guys are just much more efficient. We literally get done with the work in like half the time that it normally takes when it's hot out. Because in the summer, literally, you can only work in the attic for maybe an hour at a time, then you have to take a break. So, there's a lot of people that have been looking at their big electric bills all year. Radiant Barrier literally cuts the temperature in your attic 30 to 40%. It cuts your AC runtime in half. It lowers the temperature in your garage 10 to 15 degrees. A lot of people have their air conditioning starts up and the ducts blow off.
Today I have to go to Steve's house, and I don't know if he'll let me do this, but if he will let me do it, I'm not going to ask him I'll ask him after the show, but if he'll let me do it at his house today, I'll make a YouTube video of his collection of collections. At me.
Panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any lab test now Evoke is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Open enrollment is huge. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 9...
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Good morning, Brian. I'm impressed with and believe Kyle. Yeah, press 1 if you believe Kyle. 2, you don't. He said he defended himself. I believe Kyle. 1, you believe Kyle. 2, you do not. Oh, there's a bird flying behind me. Florida's the best state to live in. Best state to live in. How cold? What's the temperature where you are? I'm wearing shorts right now. All righty. Hour number 2 has begun. 4 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. And, of course, this is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. We're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse, shocking, dramatic testimony from Kyle Rittenhouse. I believe Kyle Rittenhouse. Do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse? He says he was defending himself. I believe Kyle Rittenhouse. Taking your calls, your thoughts on all of the events of this trial, in particular yesterday. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, yes, I'm Sandra calling from Indiana.
Hey, Sandra, what's up? I didn't see 1, 2. Everyone believes Kyle.
Comments. 1, the prosecutor is doing this just for his own fame. And if this were a black defendant, there would be more black jurors on the jury pool. Second,
well, slow down. If I am of the opinion with this case should not have come to trial. Everything that we're seeing in the courtroom now, the prosecutor knew before they even brought this to trial. Okay, and knowing everything they know, they brought this to trial. This prosecutor wants more than anything else in the world to be elected to office, and if that requires sending an innocent kid to prison for the rest of his life, he doesn't care as long as it benefits him. You know, the real criminal here is this prosecutor. He is a corrupt prosecutor, which is one of the worst types of corrupt public officials you can be. It's like being a bad cop because you can put innocent people in jail, and that's what this guy's trying to do.
I'm sure if that prosecutor was put in Kyle's shoes, he would have done the same thing. And I watched Kyle break down on the stand. And anyone that deliberately kill somebody would not have broke down like he did. I believe that child is telling the truth, and it made me cry when I saw him cry.
Oh, yeah, I was tearing up, too.
Yeah, and he is getting a bum rap just
40,
because
my goodness.
he's white.
Yeah, no, it was, I thought, out of every witness I've ever seen testify who was on trial for murder, I've seen defendants testify, I've never seen one I believed before.
Another thing, how come white privilege always seems to have its finger pointed at only conservatives? You have got liberal leftists that are white privileged too.
Well, what they do is they check their white privilege, they call it. They check their white privilege. They surrender their white privilege. Their lives are dedicated to apologizing for and attempting to check and shred their white privilege.
That is white privilege is someone who is physically, mentally capable to work, but refuse to work and live off the government.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when white privilege existed, when the Democrats in the Deep South had Jim Crow and all the segregation and everything going on. There was white privilege there for white liberals that they put in place. I get it, but this is you know, it's what Winsome Sears said when she won in Virginia last week. This isn't 1961, it's 2021, and the country has moved on from that. It's not that way anymore, but the leftists want us to believe that it is.
As how people have forgotten that the Democrats were the KKK. They wanted segregation.
I haven't forgotten it. The original Democrat community activist organization was the KKK. They were the first one.
It was a Republican that voted to stop segregation, a president that made it law to stop segregation. And here this president is wanting to segregate. He has done nothing but destroy this country, and he is the one that has...
Well, you know, these leftists, if they're so obsessed with shredding white privilege, why is the top person white and the number two, Kamala, she's a minority. She's black. So why is she number two to this old white guy? Shouldn't it be the other way around, according to Joy Reid and all the rest? Shouldn't they be upset at Joe Biden?
This whole administration's evil. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, so you believe Kyle Rittenhouse?
I believe he's totally innocent. If I was in his shoes and feared my life, I would have done the same thing.
You know, I think he is sorry that he had to do what he did. I don't think he's happy that it happened. But, you know, listen, it's a survival instinct. What was he supposed to do? Let himself be killed? And, you know, if either one of those three Antifa thugs would have killed him, none of them would be on trial today. This prosecutor would have declared what they did self-defense.
I was taught by a police officer to use my gun. He told me that if I was ever in my vehicle and my vehicle was attacked, don't show your gun that you've got it. But as soon as they break the glass on your vehicle, you have the right to shoot.
Yeah, but should you? You know, listen, I'm a very, very, very responsible gun owner. There's never been a time in my life when I've not been around gun. Very responsible. If you're in your car and you have a gun and it's concealed and your car's attacked, what do? What should you do?
You take off if you can.
You speed off. That's correct. You speed off in the car if you can and get the hell out of there. That is correct. The gun would only come into play if you were trapped and couldn't get away in your vehicle. That is absolutely right. You speed away in the car. The gun is the last option.
It is, but it's...
Okay, well, no, you answered that. Appreciate the call. She had the right answer. I just wanted to make sure. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. This is Sherry calling from Texas.
Sherry in Texas. What's up?
Hey, I was watching a part of the trial yesterday when the prosecutor was asking the rhetorical questions over and over again to the point to where at the end of his questioning he had asked, why did you fire? I don't recall exactly verbatim. And the defendant's lawyer stood up, fuming, stating that should not be allowed. And then that's when the prosecutor the judge tore into the prosecutor. And so there is a rivalry going on right now between the prosecutor and the judge, which does not look pretty for the prosecutor.
I've never seen anything like this in a case before, where the either attorney from either side is arguing and being combative with a judge like this. And it's when this is over, I hope that the jury has a press conference. I'm curious to hear the reaction to this prosecutor.
Well, I think the kid's innocent. I think he had every right to defend himself. It was either do or die scenario.
Yeah, they all three of them were going to kill him.
Exactly, that was their plan, and it was. I mean, you figure, you've got four on the battlefield. You've got one on one side. You've got three on the other. What are you going to do? You're just going to lay down and let them kill you?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to stand up. You're going to defend yourself, and that he had that right. And the jury really needs to look deep into this, the behavior of the prosecutor.
Well, the judge, when now this is an important thing happened yesterday. When the defense made the motion for a mistrial with prejudice, what that means is if a mistrial is declared with prejudice, the prosecutor can't come back and try the case over, recharge him, and try it over again. The judge did not rule on that. He said he will leave it under consideration. And I think the judge, if he's not sure that Kyle's going to be acquitted, he's going to declare a mistrial with prejudice, would be my guess. Because he's definitely upset that the prosecutor even brought charges against Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, this is textbook. If you went to an NRA training course on concealed weapon and home defense, this would be textbook examples that they would show you in an NRA film of, maybe even in a law school, of when an incident is self-defense. The whole thing with Zimmerman was his life in danger. Was his life in danger? Do you have a reasonable threat of his life being in? This 3 times in a row. Even one of the guys he shot said he shot me in self-defense. A prosecution witness, the guy that got his arm shot off, said, yeah, he shot me in self-defense. I mean, that's.
One of the guys even stood up and said he shot me in self-defense.
Yeah, the guy he shot in the arm earlier this week, a prosecution witness. So these are textbook. It's sad that anyone was shot, that anyone was killed. And obviously, this post-traumatic stress that Kyle Rittenhouse is suffering from, he regrets it more than you could imagine. But they were all, the first 2 tried to take his gun from him. What were they going to do with it? The other one was hitting him with the skateboard. You could kill someone with a skateboard, with the wheels and the metal hinge on the wheels. You could easily kill someone with a skateboard.
Hey, Brian?
Yeah.
Do you see possible rioting over this if he's acquitted?
No, because the 3 people that were shot were white. If he shot 3 white people, if he shot 3 black people and he was acquitted, then there'd be problems.
Supremacy is real crap. I just left a job because of it. And it had created.
What do you mean? You left a job because of white supremacy? What does that mean? Tell me about that.
I worked with the majority of blacks, and it was a black chef and another black employee that were talking about how white privilege. White privilege is the reason behind black struggle in life. Period.
Well, I got news for you. Life is tough for everyone. Do you know what group is the most discriminated against in America? What group do you think?
White?
No. Fat, ugly women. And I'm serious about that. But I got news for you. Life is tough for everyone. It's a little easier for some people if you're rich, and if you're rich, then you've got all kinds of doors opened up to you. Life is difficult for people. Not everything is as equally difficult as it is for others, but that's the way it is. Most people don't take responsibility for their own position in life. And they're always looking for someone to blame. I mean, I am very well aware that whatever position I'm in life I am here by many decisions that I have made that have led to me being where I am, good or bad. Yeah, and that's the way it is. But the way like a liberal like me, in a position I'm in, they'd be like, well, why am I not nationally syndicated? It's obvious because I'm black, and me, I guess I don't have the connections that Bongino has or something, or Buck Sexton, you know what I mean? Because I think I'm equally as good, if not better, than all those syndicated guys, and I'm not syndicated. I mean, I got a good job. I'm happy. I'm not complaining, But you know what I mean. But that's how a liberal looks at things. They're always griping and looking to blame other people for their situation. And when it's somebody who's black and a liberal, it's, of course, everything's race. Yep. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I want to tell everyone about Champagne Automotive Repair. They work on all the cars in my family. They work on all the cars in Steve Kane's family. And we were so lucky to find Champagne Automotive Repair. We were so lucky to find them. Champagne Automotive Repair, they're in Boca. We have listeners that drive over an hour each way for Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Because Champagne Automotive Repair, they will not do something that all the other shops do. What they will not do is a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. That's right. They will not do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. And, of course, we have many examples of this, but the one that I have in black and white right here in my hand, Steve put Champagne Automotive Repair to the test. He didn't even tell them he was doing this. His son Tyler's Toyota needed some work, and he had Tyler take his Toyota over to one of the big national famous places, auto shops, and they did a diagnostic on his vehicle. And and when you go to these places, you're not dealing with a mechanic, you're dealing with a salesman. And they printed up all this work that he needed to have done on his car. Then Steve had Tyler take his car up to Champagne Automotive Repair. They looked over the car bumper to bumper, didn't share the list from the other place, and then they told him what the car really needed. And the big name place told Steve's son that his car needed $843.12 in work and repairs and maintenance that the car did not need. $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the car did not need. That's amazing. That says it all right there. That's Champagne Automotive Repair. Their prices are also very, very low, like right out of the 80s and 90s. Their prices are very, very low. And I even took my daughter's car over there a few months ago. I thought she needed a new axle, CV joints, everything else, and I had the car towed over to Champagne Automotive, and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to get a call from Champagne Automotive Repair. They're going to tell us what the price is, and my daughter had a Fiat, one of those Fiats, and I said, when they tell us what the repair is, we've got to make a decision. Is it time for a new car or get the car repaired? It was just a few bucks. It was a minor repair. If I would have taken that to these other places, it would have been thousands of dollars in work the car didn't need. It was just really, it's a very tiny little repair for just a few bucks. Honesty. Champagne Automotive Repair. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. They work on all makes and models as well. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, okay. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Me this time.
Sounds like you.
Okay, yes, okay, what I wanted to discuss was, I saw it the night it happened. You know, I was watching it that night, and my opinion has not changed one bit. I have been so amazingly impressed by the control that kid showed. I mean, there was a mob after him. It wasn't just those three men. There was, 30, 40 people running after him, screaming, kill him, kill him, kill him. The only people he shot were the people that were literally within a second of murdering him.
Yeah.
First guy was grabbing his gun before he shot him. The second guy, he was already on the ground. He had already been hit once. He was coming in with the death blow when he shot him. The third guy, he shot his arm, not killing him. He could have taken a headshot. He could have taken a heart shot. He didn't. He took an arm shot to not kill him, just to disarm him. And there was another guy he pointed the gun at. That guy put his hands up and he dropped that gun. He was running from the mob the entire time, trying to get away, trying to remove himself from the situation, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. And I've been just so impressed that a kid that age without military training or police training that had what they call a machine gun in his hand, that he could have just turned around and started blowing all those people away. No, he did not do that. Just the control he showed just amazed me. And the other, I have to disagree with you with what I think is going on with the court case right now, because I think the prosecution knows they've lost and they're trying to throw the case to get a mistrial so they can do it again.
Well, this judge is not going to let that happen. That's why he was talking about the mistrial with prejudice, so they can't come back with charges.
Which I hope is exactly what happens, or that they just find him not guilty. Well, that would be the best, just not guilty, which, how could anyone find him guilty?
Retired Good Times, that is not true.
But
I just checked.
Have you watched it? I mean,
that is not true. I just checked.
With the
Yeah, when Kyle Rittenhouse first went up there, when he first went up there to take the stand, I was like, what are they doing? This is insane. The prosecution's already screwed the case this week, and typically only guilty people take the stand, crazy people, you know? And you put an 18-year-old kid, because he's a kid, up against a college-educated attorney, a prosecutor like this. I mean, this is just dumb. This is crazy. What's going on? And when the prosecutor started, yeah, I mean, he schooled the prosecutor. Yeah.
Watching this case since that night.
Yeah. All right, well, take care. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, caller. Yeah, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mark. I'm calling from Canada, but I was just wondering, just from watching this whole thing as kind of a spectator, not really in it, but I was just wondering, you in the chat, I'm kind of asking, do you think either party, like the protesters and Kyle, aren't they both kind of stupid for being there? I don't know, I just don't understand it seems like both parties are just as stupid. Being in that situation and but I'm not going to either side.
Well, you asked a question. Let me answer it. The answer is no. Kyle was not stupid to be there. These were not protesters. These were radical, revolutionary looters. These were looters who were tearing the town and businesses apart and setting fires. Okay, these were looters. These were not protesters.
Even the protesters or looters, I understand what's going on.
No, they were not protesters. They were there to burn the town down, and they were tearing it apart and lighting it on fire.
Exactly. I agree with you. Yeah.
So they were criminals. They were criminals, and they had unleashed so much terror on the community that the police could not, maintain law and order. And sadly, in a situation like that, citizens had to try to maintain some order. And Kyle was there to help people. You can even see him offering his services to render medical aid to people because he had some minor training.
Of course, yeah, and I'm not saying that was stupid. I'm not, I'm just saying either both parties,
Well, see, the problem you have understanding this, you have a problem with this. You don't understand because you're in Canada.
I mean, being Canadian, I don't know what that has to do.
Well, if someone broke into your home right now, right, to kill you, what would you do?
Well, I try to defend myself.
How would you defend yourself in Canada right now?
But
really? How? What would you use to defend yourself in your own home?
I mean, at the moment, I'd probably pick up a guitar.
A guitar. You'd pick up a guitar. Well, if somebody was in my home right now, right? If somebody was in my home right now, and what they would, I wouldn't, excuse me, Canada. If someone broke into my home and was threatening my life and my family, I wouldn't pick up a guitar and start strumming a tune. I'd pick up my Glock 48 or my 38.
Smash them with it. I'm not.
Oh, you'd smash them with a guitar?
So you should be able to defend yourself.
But you see, you can't defend yourself in Canada. You've got to pick up a guitar.
Hey man,
you'd be done.
I understand that.
A guitar. Okay, so so let's walk through this. So when the guitar breaks,
closest thing to me.
No, well, okay. So slow down, Canada, slow down. So when you've got this guy, he's broken into your house, he's high on drugs, the guitar breaks, he's still coming. What do you do next? The guitar didn't stop him, and he's going to rape your wife. He's going to kill your family. What is your next line of defense?
Whatever. I don't know what this has to do.
Well, because in Canada, you don't understand self-defense.
Trust me, man. I know Canada is crap for.
You have no if someone tries to kill you, you can't defend yourself.
No, I know that. Yeah, there's no freedom. There's no amendments in Canada. I know that. But my question is to you in the chat was, do you think it's I'm not saying he was in his right or not to defend himself, but if you take the people who are out at night protesting or rioting,
they were not protesting.
Look, if they were out, you're out at night doing this, protesting or rioting, looting, and you also have somebody out of, regardless of out of state, just somebody showing up to protect, it's like on the other, it's almost like taking it's like one side's amped up, the other.
Well, Canada, I'll tell you this about Canada, okay? Canada has never been one to defend itself. When the original American 13 colonies, no, it has everything. Now let me explain. When the 13 American colonies formed our own country, and there was the American Revolution took part against the Redcoats, those 13 were not the only colonies. Canada too was one of the colonies in America, and you guys sat that one out. And America is a country that has been settled through revolution and strong-willed frontiersmen that have defended their homesteads their entire life. You don't understand that because have you ever fired a gun? Have you ever shot a gun?
Yeah. Sorry?
Have you ever fired a weapon, a gun?
Yeah, I fire like 12 gauge and 20 rifles.
Oh, 22 rifles, a cap gun. You might as well have a water gun.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to go to a shoot. There's no shooting ranges I can go to. But regardless of...
There's no shooting ranges? Oh, my goodness.
Not that, I mean, there probably are. I just don't.
We've got shooting ranges all over the place. I took my daughter to the shooting range when she was 11 for the first time. No, but it's not that you're necessarily anti-gun. You just don't understand the situation because you're not in a culture like America.
No, I know when it comes to owning guns in Canada, I know that is a totally different world. I'm not talking about that. What I'm asking though was, do you think either side has a right to be there? Like,
Kyle, yes, correct. Yes, slow down. You said, did either side have a right to be there? Yes, Kyle Rittenhouse had a right to be there because he was a law-abiding citizen obeying the law.
Adult going out of, out of his way to defend business.
In Wisconsin, you can be, there's no such thing as an underage adult. You're either an adult or you're not. But there's not an underage. You said underage adult. There's no such thing. One cancels out. You're either underage or an adult.
As in, yeah.
You get to in the United States. In the United States, to own a gun, to own a rifle, you have to be 18, 21 for a handgun. But you can be underage and possess a gun. You can be underage and possess a rifle. You just can't own it.
Restricted gun owners,
No, there's no, they have open carry in Wisconsin. You're allowed to carry your guns around in the open like that, even under age 18.
Regardless of that, that's what I'm asking is, do you, okay, so I understand you think he had a right.
Yes, he did.
Not a right, but he should have been, he had, it's like he's being a good citizen. He's
correct.
American by going there.
He was violating the curfew.
No, and that's what, and these, a lot of people on the left, all of a sudden now they care about curfews.
You should, you need to come down south and go to a gun range and learn a little bit about guns.
I love guns, man.
But you don't have any. You said you defend yourself with your guitar. You defend yourself with your guitar. All right, thanks for your call. I asked him in Canada, if someone breaks into his house to kill him, what would he use to defend himself? He says he's got a guitar. He's got a guitar. I don't know if he hits him with the guitar like a rock star, and then it breaks and the guy goes to kill him, or does he strum a tune and he's so talented when he plays the guitar, the guy breaking in says, "Oh well, I'm not going to rob or kill you. I'm not going to rape your wife. You're so good on that guitar. I enjoy your music so much. I'm just going to let you be." I got my guitar. You can't make this stuff up, people. All right, let's take our break. 35 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with your calls after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health
Oh
consequences.
my gosh. Could you imagine defending your family with a guitar?
Sole authority at little or no cost. You can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom
Oh
inserts.
my goodness.
Medicare recipients are entitled to one pair of quality.
No, you were heard on the radio, POD.
Inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954.
You were heard on the radio.
7060.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of...
Yeah, I was expecting hockey stick too.
Avoid probate. Call the Siegel
Hockey stick would definitely be more effective than the guitar, but
FLA 3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
all right. 38 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Greg from Texas.
Greg in Texas. What's up, Greg in Texas?
Listen,
Hey, in Texas, when someone breaks into your home, do you protect your family with guitars like Canada does?
He was such a bad player, the guy's probably just roll over dead, and he has to call the quarters.
Oh man, when he said I thought he was going to say hockey stick, not guitar.
Right. You were talking earlier to Sherry from Texas and said that why weren't you a national figure, that you had all the talent. Listen, we get up an hour early here at 5 in the morning to listen to you. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to make this, or starting out being like a Black Lives Matter thing with this kid, but since they're...
Yeah, but everyone's white. The only thing involved in the Kyle Rittenhouse case that was black is the gun.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm suspecting, and I'm probably not going to be too far off. Is if the kid is acquitted on this, which I think everybody who has any sense thinks he should be, the Biden administration is going to turn this into a gun thing because it's just too high profile for them to let this pass up, and they're going to come after him on some kind of...
Well, I was talking about that earlier. I could see this attorney general who says parents at school board meetings are domestic terrorists pursuing charge. Again, this is how Bush 41, when the L.A. Rodney King cops were acquitted, went after them federally, and they went to federal prison.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. I think it's just too high profile for him to pass this up. So they'll find some kind of way about guns or something in it, because it's not going to be a Black Lives Matter thing at this point, since there is no black.
Well, they may, and I'm not kidding. Now, I don't know for sure. I'm just going by the names, but it sounds like the Antifa thugs that were shot by Kyle Rittenhouse are Jews. They all have Jewish names. I at least two of them. So maybe they'll go after some hate crime charges of anti-Semitism or something. When the federal government does that, to me, it seems like a loophole around double jeopardy. I don't appreciate that at all. When the federal government comes in like that.
You look at everything that the Biden folks have done, pretty much gone against the grain for the majority of the people here, and I can see this is not ending well for this young man, because I think that. We'll have to wait for President Trump to get reelected.
No, you can't. The president can't pardon people on local crimes, only federal crimes.
Okay, well, this would be a federal charge if Biden went after him.
Oh, if they went after him with federal charges? Yeah. I don't know. Since the three that he shot were white, if they were black, they'd definitely go after him for federal hate crime charges. No question about it.
Yeah.
But, all right, take care, man. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bob from Northern Michigan.
Oh, Bob in Northern Michigan. Well, boy, it must be free. I'm wearing shorts right now. What's the weather like in Northern Michigan?
Oh, warmer than it should be, but I believe it's upper 30s.
Oh, my gosh. 30. That's like our coldest day of the year here in Florida. What's on your mind?
I've always been under the understanding that people in Canada cannot take possession of their guns. They can own them, but they need to check them in and out of an armory when they need to use them.
Oh my goodness. Well, you may be in northern Michigan, but you're so close to Canada, you sound like a Canadian. You've got like a Canadian accent.
Yep.
Well, how do you have a Canadian accent? Is it because you're so close to Canada?
Upper Peninsula.
Oh, you're in the Upper Peninsula. Oh yeah, you're real close. That's crazy. Do the criminals? Hey, do the criminals have guns in Canada?
Oh, you bet they do.
Oh, the criminals have guns in Canada. Oh my goodness.
Yep. And Brian, one thing, since I'm on the phone with you, I want you to know that you the people at your radio station really need to know that there are a lot of people that vacation down in Central and South Florida, and I spend a couple weeks a year down there, and we do. I mean, I am very appreciative of your show, and I make it a point to spend money at your sponsors.
Oh, great!
Even call the station and let them know. And I just wanted to bring that up. You are doing a fantastic job, and I came across your program shortly after we lost Rush earlier in the year.
Oh, you're new, yeah.
And it was, and we lost a national treasure there. We really did. But you really helped to fill that void. And
well, I appreciate that.
Thank your program for that.
Well, if I do appreciate all your kind words. Fans had left in front of Rush's mansion, in front of the gate of his mansion in Palm Beach, and I went right up to you. You should take a look at it. It's on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig, my YouTube channel. Yeah, it was a couple months back. I went up to I made a video showing the church where Trump married Melania. And when I was done with that, I said, you know what, let me go by Rush's house, because I know where he lived. And I was blown away at the memorial that fans of Rush left in front of his home. And Rush's wife, such a nice lady, not only allowed it to stay there at the front gate, but she went and put everything that was left in like plastic bags to protect it from the rain when people would leave things. It's very moving. But if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see it. It's very emotional. It was very emotional. Yeah.
That was a very sad day for a lot of people.
And I'll tell you, I was thinking about Rush a couple days ago. I was watching James O'Keefe did a video this week when he was reading from George Orwell's 1984, and he was smoking a cigar to look cool. Yeah, I like James O'Keefe. I'm a huge fan of James O'Keefe. But he was smoking a cigar for imaging, I think, for the video. And cigars killed Rush Limbaugh, and he didn't hide from that fact. I am not, my grandmother of mine died from cancer. My stepfather passed away due to things that were smoking related. And those of you out there that are Rush fans, cigars are not cool, man. The worse. And I'm a very hardcore anti. So if you take anything from Rush Limbaugh, no cigars. No cigars. And when I saw James O'Keefe and I was watching that video, it was so distracting because I was thinking about Rush would still be with us.
Well taken. We could have used Rush now more than ever.
Now did you see Kyle Rittenhouse's testimony yesterday?
Yes, I did. And something that I didn't hear any of your listeners pointing out, I watched Alan Dershowitz on Hannity last night, and he believed that the reason that the prosecutor received such a tongue lashing from the judge was because the judge knew exactly what the prosecutor was trying to do. The prosecutor was trying to get the judge to declare a mistrial, and the judge does not want to do that because the liberal media will pin it all on the judge. And so that, I guess...
Alan Dershowitz, who's just a great man. I mean, I know he's a liberal and all, but he's, and he was part of the O.J. Simpson dream team. But he's when it comes to legal analysis, he's spot on. I heard a lot of people say that yesterday on Court TV as well. And let me tell you, this was an interesting thing, because I think you and Alan Dershowitz are right watching this yesterday, and I'm so glad I was able to watch it and not watch it in highlights, see it live. when the defense got up and said, if he does that again, I'm gonna ask for a mistrial with prejudice, meaning that the prosecution won't be able to get a do-over. If there is a mistrial, could do a mistrial with prejudice, which would clear Kyle Rittenhouse. That very likely could happen. But this prosecutor, I'm telling you, I got a good eye for this. You're calling me from Michigan. The same look I saw in the prosecutor's face, I see in Governor Whitmer's face. Just insanity in the eyes. He's crazy, man, just like your governor.
Could be, but unlike our governor, I really do believe that this judge is more of a constitutionalist. I mean, I really, just the little nuances I got watching the trial. Whereas Whitmer doesn't care. Whitmer is just all about grabbing as much power and as much illusion.
Well, this prosecutor is the same way. He ran for office and lost, and he's planning on running again. So he's trying to use this as a springboard. Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, and thank you for using our sponsors when you come to Florida. That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Calling us from Michigan. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We will take our last break of the second hour of the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, and be back. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be back right after this.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley. Good morning, Brian. Like Rush, my mother died from cigars, among other illnesses, in 2016. Yeah, I am I've never been a smoker, and both of my parents when I was growing up smoked. My mom doesn't smoke anymore, thankfully, but and my grandparents smoke. It's awful. So I tell Steve all the time, because Steve's older. His friends that are dead, they've all were smokers. He's never been a smoker. His friends that are alive have never been smokers. Not that I'm a health nut, but cigarettes are just stupid.
MyPillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and
that mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely. My wife loves it.
Oh man, I know they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow, My Slippers 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had 2 bow ties in the back of my Infiniti. I called them up, and I feel like I was really check prices for us. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
Now, I'm going to tell you guys, if I don't have a full board of calls at 8, Steve's going to make me change the topic to something else other than Kyle Rittenhouse. So if you want me to keep talking about that trial yesterday, pick up the phone, fill up my board. All right?
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000-mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course,
he's already told me that, so. And I really don't want to talk about much else.
The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
Hey guys, welcome back. 8 before 8. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. Oh man, oh boy, this show. I mean, you know, that Kyle Rittenhouse trial yesterday was just, you know, in the 90s we had a run of high-profile televised trials, right? O.J., Menendez, and there have been others here and there. The Zimmerman a few years ago, Casey Anthony, Jodi Arias. You know, everyone's. But that era of American news cycles has really stopped, and because everything's so political, and politics and what's going on in this country certainly are very important. But this trial yesterday with this judge is an amazing, amazing man. I know he's a MAGA guy. The judge's phone rang in the courtroom during the trial. I was watching it live, and his ringer is Lee Greenwood's "I'm proud to be an American." I mean, my goodness. I just have the generic Apple phone ringer on mine. Did you guys catch that? Did any of the commentators you watched pick up on that? I didn't see any of the commentators I watched on Court TV pick up on it. But the Court TV commentators are all libs. They probably didn't recognize the song, "I'm proud to be an American." You know what I mean? He's a MAGA guy. But this judge is the last of a breed of judges that we're just not going to see too much of in the future. The next era of judges are snowflake, soy milk drinking, skinny pants millennials. And when our courts are filled up with the millennials, we're in trouble in this court system. Kyle Rittenhouse, if he didn't have a law and order judge who was not a political animal like this prosecutor and even Judge Ito and OJ and others, Kyle Rittenhouse would be in big trouble. And this may be the last high-profile national trial we see with a good man as the judge. It's very possible. He's an older guy, and the up-and-coming judges are a bunch of snowflakes. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Catherine from Newbern.
Newbern. Where's Newbern?
It's in North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Hey, North Carolina. How you doing?
Great. Yeah, I've been watching this trial from the beginning, and I just can't believe that this prosecutor even brought this case. And when Kyle said that he didn't even buy his vest. If he went there to kill people, why would he give his vest to his friend?
Mm-hmm.
Going to be on the roof. I started crying when he did. When he was running for his life, he was cornered. People were chasing him. A gun went off behind him, and I'm so outraged. To me, this is everything to do with the Second Amendment. And remember, 3 days of burning because a cop shot a criminal, and they dropped the charges on that criminal just before.
Well, I got to tell you, when Kyle Rittenhouse broke down, obviously suffering with maybe Dr. Lemaski on her show with Al Knight on this weekend. You can catch her, Al Knight and Dr. Lemaski, 11 a.m. Saturdays on our radio stations. We'll talk about this. That PTSD, pretty deep in him. I was tearing up. Now, I'll tell you, without giving too many details, these first 2 guys he shot that went and tried to take his gun away, and then the third one ran up on him with his own gun drawn. I've been, and some of you listeners, I've talked about this off the air, so I'm not going to get into the details of it on the air. But I've had guns in my face. Multiple guns. It's terrifying. And I was unarmed. And it's terrifying. I was surrounded by people with guns pointed at me. For someone to charge someone with a gun and try to take it from them is a crazy person. And is incredibly dangerous. And if they will do something that crazy, they are a threat to everybody around them. That's an insane thing that both of them did. All three of them were a threat. And what were they going to do if they got Kyle's gun? We know the third guy was going to shoot him because he had the Glock pointed at him. But the other 2, what were they going to do if they got his gun?
Well, Kyle mentioned that on the stand. He said if Rosenbaum had taken his gun, he would have shot and killed him and then whoever else was around, probably. This guy was crazy. And the coroner showed that he got powder on his hand when in that shooting. So his hand was like inches away from the barrel of the gun.
Yeah. No, listen, all three of these, this is a tragedy, and obviously Kyle believes so too. That's why he broke down. He's sorry that these people are dead. Okay? Everyone is. But here's the thing. If you were putting together a course on self-defense, when it is okay to use your gun in self-defense and when it is not, all three of these examples, as sad as they are textbook examples of self-defense and using deadly force to protect your life. All three of them. All three of them.
He said on the stand, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't believe he did. He defended himself. And when the prosecutor, I kind of call him Pee-wee Herman with glasses, but when he said, when this Gage guy was pointing his gun, he said, your gun was bigger than his. Gage had a 40 cal. A 40 cal would do a lot more damage than...
Yeah, he had a Glock. I mean, that Glock is a cannon. It's a very powerful gun. And it's also semi-auto and fires just as fast as an AR-15, a larger round. An AR-15... I was talking about this earlier. Every generation has the guns that they like. When I was a kid, all the guys liked 30-30s because the cowboys and the westerns, right, had 30-30s a lot of times. Not always, but a lot of times. And I was talking about Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon had a Beretta. So all my friends, we all wanted Berettas. I remember going to the gun show with my friend John and my friend Alan just to buy Berettas. You know, I wasn't old enough yet. I wasn't 21. They were. And then we went to the gun range with the Berettas. And, and right now the AR-15 is the hip-end gun with young guys. It's really not that powerful of a gun. It looks much more menacing than it actually is compared to other weapons because they got all those add-ons to it to make it look like it's military weapon or something. But it's really a much smaller round than the guns I have at home for home defense. Yeah.
I think the Rifleman was another one that everybody...
Yeah, I was wrong. It was Steve McQueen had the 30-30. Chuck Connors and the Rifleman, someone told me had a, I forgot what they said, a 40... I can't...
30-30.
I thought it was a 30-32 in the Rifleman. I could have swore he had a 30-30. Cause when I was a kid, I've never had a 30-30. I still want one. Maybe I'll buy one for my birthday this next year, but, yeah. But, what the prosecutor... The prosecutor, I thought, was going to say, when he was questioning him about the AR-15, that he was going to use the Parkland shooter as a reference. I think he was about to say it when the judge cut him off, that it's the same gun that the Parkland shooter had. He was trying to get that out there as if that's relevant.
And Kyle, if he was out to really hurt people, why would he give his best?
That makes no sense. And after the first incident, he went and turned himself into the cops, and the cop maced him and told him to get the hell out of here. And then the other two shootings happened.
Driver's seat actually pulled his gun.
Well, there are more witnesses coming from the defense, including a police officer. And so listen, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call, North Carolina. Take care. North Carolina is probably the safest state in America because all the cops in Florida retire to North Carolina for some reason. I don't know who the hell would leave Florida to go to North Carolina, but every cop I've ever known, they retire to North Carolina for some reason. I don't know. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We only have one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Steve will be joining us after the break. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta
Steve Kane Show.
Roofing and Restoration.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
In construction industry
Hold on.
since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows,
Steve Kane Show.
building restoration.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
Hurricane season is upon
Hold
us.
on.
If you have noticed any water stains on
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody, please like the video. Liking the video tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to other people that like this kind of content. And that, of course, helps new people find the program.
tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Brian Craig here. You've heard us talk about the great low prices Friendly Tire has on new tires and used tires. They also do tire repairs. Listen to one of our listeners talk about their experience at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey Brian, my name is Mike. Just wanted to call and see.
Oh, I've shot a 44 mag. Oh, my friend Alan has a 45 mag, like in the first Dirty Harry. That is a cannon. I remember firing it, and I have if I'm at the range and I'm practicing with my home defense guns, you hold them close, because if you're in a home defense, you hold it close. If you hold it out, they can take the gun. What's up? No, that's what Chuck Connor said. So when you're in home defense, you want to keep the gun close, right? Because if you at the gun range, people hold the gun out. If you hold the gun out, they do what those guys try to do to Kyle, take the gun. So if you hold it close, they can't just reach and take it from you. But my friend's 44, I had that all the way out because we're just target shooting. And every time I fired it, it burned my face with the powder coming out of it. I mean...
Call right now. I'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find...
I've always wanted a 30-30. I've thought about getting a Henry 30-30. I don't know what they charge for them at Henry. Henry's got some good deals.
By over 20 retailers, has lost over $65 million in...
Steve has a Desert Eagle. Steve has a gold Desert Eagle.
Stand with Mike Lindell. Support MyPillow and the thousands and thousands who work with Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
Visit MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials and use
A $30,000. I would not spend $1,000.
check out for incredible savings.
I would not want to spend more than a few $100 on a 30-30. If I had a 30-30, I'd keep it at the front door.
Don't let the left and don't let the media cancel Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. iWill Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison.
I don't hunt anymore. I hunted when I was a kid. So, I have long guns too, but I don't have a 30-30.
On every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly.
If I got a 30-30, I'd probably buy a cheap one or a used one. Used guns are fine. They last forever. Usually if you buy a used gun, especially from a gun shop, the person that had it rarely fired it.
Concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida.
Well, when I say a couple hundred, I don't mean 200. I'd say 400 to 500. Oh, Steve's Desert Eagle is completely gold. It's insane. It's really cool. All right, third hour has begun. There's only one opening on the board. If you're on hold, stand by. And we're joined by Steve Kane. Hey, Steve. All right, how's it going? Well, we got a full board of calls. We got a full board of calls. Okay, I know. Well, let's go through the calls and we'll see, because we got other stuff to do. By the way, I have in my hand, I got a whole bag of the microphone covers, the pea poppers for your phone. So don't lose them. These were very hard to get in the size microphone you have. Okay, so don't lose them. I'm going to bring them to you today and give you a whole bag of them. Just don't lose them. All right. MyPillow slippers are today. Yeah, that's true. All right, we've got a full board. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Of course, we've been talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse case. MSNBC's Joy Reid says this is a textbook example of white privilege and why we need critical race theory. Even though the shooter and those he shot were all white, it's still racism. Perhaps because the gun is black, she figures racism. Well, we're trying to figure that out, but let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian and Steve. This is Dee in Newport Richie.
Oh, hey, Dee.
Hello, Dee. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks. I wanted to say something about attorneys in general. I was in a seminar one time, and there were different entrepreneurs in different industries, and one of them that was there was a defense attorney.
Ugh.
At this. Yes, I'll never forget this. So as the seminar was going on, somebody asked him, what do you charge a family who is in need of a defense? And I kid you not, his answer was, I asked the family, how much money do you have?
Yeah.
That's what I charge. So,
It's a sliding scale, yeah.
Yeah. So when a defense attorney is defending your life, okay, I totally understand that. What I cannot take with this prosecutor from the Rittenhouse case is why is he so passionately going after this young kid who clearly, this should never even have been brought to trial, in my opinion, but the tactics that he...
I'll tell you why. He has run for office there before and lost, and he plans on running again. And he thinks this prosecution, looking like a clown, will cater to the Democrats in the area, and he'll get elected. He's running for office.
I can't believe my ears when I heard this. I had to do a double take. I said, did he just say this to the judge? Who does he think he's talking to?
I've never seen that. I've never seen a lawyer and a judge have an interaction like that, ever.
I have never seen anything like this, but does he think he's scoring points with this judge? No possible way. No possible.
This judge isn't done with him. When this is over, I expect him to make an official complaint with the bar, maybe some charges. This judge, when the judge's phone went off and his ringtone is I'm Proud to Be an American by Lee Greenwood, you gotta, that's the kind of judge you want.
I loved how he called him out and said, this is, attorneys 101, you should have known this 40 years ago, that you do not bring...
Now let me ask you, Dee, when they called Kyle Rittenhouse to the stand, I thought this was insane. And obviously I was wrong because, he knew more about the law than the prosecutor, right?
I said, when somebody told me yesterday that he was going to be taking the stand, I said, I 1,000% disagree that he should do that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To keep his mouth shut. Well, how wrong was I? This kid is handling himself unbelievable. Do we realize what an 18-year-old, what a young mind an 18-year-old is? Not this kid.
Yeah.
Take it, ma'am, do I take it from what you're saying that you think the kid was in the right? Hero of sorts? That's what they're making him out to be.
Well, how I feel about him is that when he was being chased by a mob, and he turns around to see that his life is in danger, he protected himself.
All three of these guys he shot were going to kill him. All three of them. Textbook self-defense, each and every. It's sad, and obviously Kyle regrets it. That's why he had that breakdown, that PTSD is deep in him.
Believed every bit of that emotion.
Oh, yeah.
You don't fake hyperventilation. That kid I thought was going to hyperventilate right in front of our eyes.
And I'll say this, though. Court TV is very liberal. And I was watching the Court TV commentary. None of them brought this up. One of his biggest supporters is Ricky Schroeder. Same last name as the judge. Remember Ricky Schroeder? And Ricky Schroeder's most famous role was in The Champ, right? When his dad died in The Champ, who's your favorite actor? We've had him on the show a bunch of times, Steve, that was in Midnight Cowboy, the conservative actor. Yeah, John Voight. We've had John Voight on the show several times. John Voight dies in The Champ, and Ricky Schroeder has a breakdown, and that's kind of reminded me of Kyle yesterday, and I thought for sure one of these commentators would bring that up, because Ricky Schroeder has been raising money for Kyle, and it was kind of been, but that was real. That moment, did you see that, Steve, the breakdown?
Different view.
Oh, he's the
victim.
Oh my goodness, really?
I see him as a troubled kid.
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't see that at all.
We watching the same. You're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, Steve?
Yeah, I'm talking about him. Don't forget, I used to teach acting, so I come at it from a different point of view than the average person. But he was in a high stress situation. He was very emotional, reliving it, and when you get to a certain state of emotion,
wow,
and you just let.
You think he was faking it? You think that was acting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, he had good reason to be upset, right?
Steve is turning into Geraldo on the 5 here.
Yeah. Steve, I'm wondering, I have a question for you. Now, can you put yourself in his position? You saw the video. You saw him running.
I'm shocked.
You saw people chasing after him, who, I have to tell you, said to him, screaming at him, "I'm going to rip your heart out, you blank blank."
Well, hold on. But you see, the difference... Hold on, let me try to explain this. Somebody has to take the alternate point of view here. And I'm only throwing this out for consideration. Your story begins at a different time than my story begins as I watched him. Yes, by the time he was sitting there with these evidently hooligans types that were chasing him, I understand why he did what he did, and I understand that. But I understand, the phrase that kept going through my mind as I watched him: looking for trouble, looking for trouble. He was looking for trouble when this thing.
He was out there rendering. Oh, Steve.
And then he hold on. And
not at all.
He found the trouble he was looking for.
Not at all. He was there rendering aid. He was giving medical aid to people, volunteering. He was walking around, "I'm friendly. Does anybody need help? Does anybody need first aid? Friendly here." He was out there looking to help people.
Yeah, he was there to help.
Well, all right.
All right, D. Hey, take care. Thanks for the call. Oh, man. Well, one of the... All right.
I've got a bias. I just want to state it up front. So
you got a bias? Against what?
Be fighting off the audience all day.
Self-defense? What do you got a bias against?
No, I'll tell you what I got a bias against.
He doesn't want to talk about
this. I got
this
off the air, and there was a whole new bunch of facts came out about the real story of the day, which is the country falling apart by the seams.
Yes.
Biden getting more exposed every day, and I sat down in front of my television hoping to have a good morning of watching the latest F-ups that these Biden people are doing. And all I could find on Fox television was this story. And I listened to it a little bit, because you've been into it more than I have. And it got very repetitious for me.
All right.
Patient with it. I said, enough already. How long?
Well, okay. Oh, now, hold on. First off, we only have one opening on the board. Everyone on hold, stand by. Now, I'm just going to tell you something that you told me long ago, okay? First off, the country will still be falling apart and going to hell tomorrow, right, with Biden. So, but, oh, no. There's going to be a cop called by the defense. There's going to be some more excitement. But here, when it comes to a topic they want to discuss, and you kind of got to you don't want to get in front of the freight train. And we got a full board of calls here since 6 o'clock on this. People got things to say. I got other stuff. Exactly. Using your
advice I gave you, this is what's known as being hoisted on your own.
Exactly.
What you're saying is true.
Yes.
So I defer to
yourself.
Judgment
of yourself.
Exactly.
Or maybe Steve, I'm just a good manipulator, and I just manipulated you into talking about what I don't know. It's one of those two.
Just enough already. Enough. How long can you? It's a very one-trick pony. This.
Well, let's take another call or two. I've got other stuff. Let's take another call or two, though. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from North Dakota.
Mike in North Dakota. What's up, North Dakota?
Hey, Michael. What's happening? How are things in North?
Oh, by the way, before you start, Mike. Hey, Steve, did you hear the call I got from Canada earlier? The guitar. He's gonna hit the guy with the guitar. Oh my God! All right, North Dakota, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Everything's good here. It's just a blizzard and 28 out, but
I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt right now.
God, that must be nice.
Yeah.
75.
And I'm wearing less than that.
That shorts on.
So, the bad thing about this whole thing is this trial is literally tearing people more apart.
Oh.
The prosecutor intentionally said those things, because he's losing the case. So when
Steve Kane Show.
the judge has to dismiss the
Steve
jury
Kane Show.
so he can
Hold
ridicule
on.
that prosecutor.
Steve Kane Show.
The fact of the matter is
Hold on.
the jury already heard it, so it doesn't matter if the judge says dismiss that last remark from the prosecutor. It's too late. When you hear something, you can't unhear it, even though you're not supposed to, use it when you're deliberating your.
Hey Barry, sorry, the lines have just been busy. Hold on.
How much did you watch the trial yesterday? How long?
I watched it from day one to yesterday, and
and it held your interest. I mean,
Oh yeah.
It was so.
Steve, 2 days ago, one of the guys that he shot came and said he shot me in self-defense. There was a witness before for the process. That was a prosecution. Another prosecution witness said the prosecutor tried to get him to change his testimony. So I mean, this has been drama. Hey, North Dakota, we got to run for a break. I'm sorry to cut you short, but thanks for the call. We have on the line Steve Kane's attorney, Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
We're great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
First of all, we're starting to see all of the trimmings of the holidays, all the commercials for Christmas, and the Hanukkah season is upon us, and Thanksgiving, and we're starting to see everything about the Black Friday, and Cyber Saturday,
Empty shelves and no cranberry sauce.
Stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So with that in mind, the thought today is, why not start thinking about giving the gift that keeps on giving? A lot of adult children have parents who have not done any planning. They don't have that peace of mind that they set things up so that if they become incapacitated, that the right people can make decisions for them, that they have a plan to make sure that their assets avoid the court processes of probate and guardianship, that they can leave the assets to the people they love in a way that's protected. And in so doing, that gift just gives right back to the adult children, because now it's going to protect them as well. So that's one of those concepts are some of the things we're going to be talking about at our workshop next Wednesday. And we still have a few spots open if anybody would.
And let me tell you about Attorney Barry Siegel's workshop next week. It is very, very rare to have an open spot even this far out from the workshop. This is an opportunity that you definitely want to take advantage of. Now, the Living Trust Workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel is completely free, but they do ask that you make reservations because they need to know, how much space they need and things like that. Let me give you the number, and I've been to, as has Steve, to many of Attorney Barry Siegel's workshops, and even though I've been to very many, I don't even know how many, I always learn something new at each and every one. It's information you get from the attorney and the law firm that will blow your mind how much information you get for free at Barry Siegel's workshops. Here's the number to call. They'll give you detailed directions and reserve your spot. Again, no charge. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, we'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, have a great day. Have a great day. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is the number. I got a couple of messages from people about you, Steve. Okay, here's one. These are both referencing the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Here's the first one. Steve's inner liberal is seeping out. Steve's inner...
Stupid. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah.
You can disagree with me, but my position is, I mean...
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's the other one. Here's the other one. If Kyle Rittenhouse were black, Steve would feel different.
I'm going to have to plead guilty to that. I think I've had these things happen in the past, you know, because we've been together a long time. And I do have a bias in that direction. That,
yes,
my friends, by the way, is my liberal bias.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you did save one black teenager from prison. Got him a free lawyer. There was a black teenage boy at a local high school here in Broward County who was being beaten and bullied at school. No one did anything about it. And he took a knife to school that he did not use on anyone, but he did display it in self-defense, and he was arrested, and he was going to go to prison. And Steve got a lawyer to represent him for free and save that kid's life. And that was years ago, so he probably has a family by now, that kid you saved. Think about that. It's pretty good.
That's a neat trick, by the way, to get a lawyer to do something like...
Well, the lawyer, don't say the name of the lawyer, because the lawyer had some regret when they saw the house that they lived in. Like Dee was talking about earlier, they thought they could afford to pay. Remember? Remember when they saw the house? But, yeah. But don't say the name of the lawyer, because that last little truth that came... All right, there is only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I've lost track of who's called in what order. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to take the. Yeah, you might. Yeah.
We let our hair down and. Look behind the curtain.
Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Tell the audience what the last thing I said to you last night when we spoke late in the day. The last time we spoke. Tell them what I.
You didn't want to talk about Rittenhouse. You wanted to talk about the inflation or something.
Well, it's more than that. I said, do me a favor. Get the Rittenhouse stuff done early, because I'm not that interested in it.
It's 24 minutes after 8 in the morning. It's early in the morning still.
Well, it's
not even 9 a.m. yet.
Better than that in terms of the show.
That's true. It's almost Gold Report time. All right, let's go.
Question, which you ignored.
No, we've got calls. The freight train thing. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is your favorite reality check guy out from Coral Springs. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, Al, what's up?
Kudos to you for having the foresight that your buddy doesn't have and realizing that this Kyle guy is just an idiot. Now, here's the deal, the real deal. The prosecution, they were worse than Rittenhouse's lawyers, but this is where the prosecution shut down Rittenhouse. They asked him a simple question. When everything was said and done, and the police had pushed everybody past this so-called car dealership that you were protecting, why didn't you just go home? He asked them
exactly.
Why didn't you just go home? And you know what? He had no answer, because it's like you said, Steve, he's an idiot. Now, you've been honest. You said, you know, when Brian said this guy accused you of if the guy was black, it would be the other way around. Let's ask Brian. Let's see if Brian can be honest. Brian, if this kid was a minority, you would be hell-bent up in arms blaming his parents. Oh, why was the kid out so late? The parents should be in jail too, because they let them go running around with a gun. You know who else should be on trial? These police officers.
I thought you had a question for me. Yeah, you're not. I thought you wanted to ask me. No, if he were black, I'd have the same position that I have today.
No, you wouldn't. You would be saying everything against this guy, saying that he was a thug. He shouldn't have been there.
That's your fantasy, because in your Joy Reid like thought process, That's what you want to believe. You're putting a very negative racial stereotype on me. And as an African American man, I would think you would be opposed to racial stereotyping, yet you're doing it to me.
Steve, kudos to you for being honest, sir.
Kudos.
He doesn't have an honest bone.
Okay, well, but the reality is we really don't. Oh, now he hung up. He hung up because he didn't want to. Okay. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, caller. Once, twice. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Mr. Canada, and I'm just calling to say, if you ever show up to my house and you better watch yourself.
You're that bad on the guitar, huh? Yeah?
Because you're going to get hit with that 6-string, boy.
Uh-huh. Will I have to squeal like a pig, too? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Did you catch Kamala Harris yesterday with the fake French accent? Oh, let me play this for you. This is, and I gotta. This is. So she's talking. She's over there at the climate conference, and all of a sudden, Kamala has a French accent, which I believe is racist of her to do this. Listen.
With us in government, we campaign with the plan.
The plan. Now, a lot of people. I'll play more of it. See, I don't think it's a French accent she's doing. Remember Fantasy Island with Ricardo Montalban and Tattoo, Steve? Well, there's a new reboot of Fantasy Island that has been on Fox this new season. And I think she watches Fantasy Island, and I think she's doing Hervé Vallée, who's the actor who played Tattoo. De plain, not a French accent, but...
With the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P. The plan.
The plan. What a sad woman. Who is now? I want to ask you guys this question in the audience. I'd like to take some calls on this too. Who is more unlikable in the White House, Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton when she was First Lady? I think Kamala's more unlikable than even Hillary. I really do, and scary.
Agree to that.
Yeah. Deplane, boss, deplane. Yeah, that's, what a weirdo. What a strange person.
The situation we as voters find ourselves in, where we got to choose between Biden and president as to who would make a better president, and trading Biden in, for as bad as he is, trading him in for Kamala, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you though, Ron DeSantis had an epic... Did you catch the thing with Ron DeSantis? Oh, listen, let's take our break. And Governor Ron DeSantis was asked about Biden policies yesterday. And it was epic. Can I play some of it when we get back, Steve? This is an unbelievable... I'm trying to change the topic just for you. But I mean...
Much I appreciate it.
But I mean, if you still would like to call in on Rittenhouse, please do. But I'm just bringing up some other things to pacify Steve. No, I'm serious. But if you do have some comment on Rittenhouse, you are certainly welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. But we're going to bring up a couple of other things, mainly not to satisfy Steve. I have a bunch of audio sound bites that I was up editing at 3:30 this morning, and I want to play them. I put a lot of effort into this, so we're going to get to them, all right? But we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school.
Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-59.
Oh, Steve has a lot of guns.
Make sure
No.
to tell him you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Oh no, Steve is very pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment. Oh yeah. Steve has more guns than I have, and probably you guys do too. He's got an arsenal. Yesterday it started around 10 or so, didn't it?
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brad.
All right, Wisconsin's on Central Time, so.
Tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. It's everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WNN.
Alrighty, we are back 33 minutes after the hour. Now, Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Coral Springs, they don't just do COVID testing. I'm going over Saturday. I have a doctor's appointment next week, and my doctor orders some tests. I'm going to Any Lab Test Now of Boca because they have to be fasting on Saturday morning for some tests, and my wife is having a procedure next week, and they require, before she has the procedure, a PCR test, before the procedure. Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Coral Springs have same-day PCR testing results. Same-day PCR testing at both locations. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, so if you're on hold, stand by. Ron DeSantis, who's spectacular. I got two bits here. Make sure I play the one shorter than the other. They're both very good. Okay, I'll play the short, which is the end of his statement first. We were talking yesterday. A Florida man was murdered by an illegal immigrant that was transported to Florida by Joe Biden in Jacksonville, Florida. And he had a press conference yesterday, Ron DeSantis, and he was asked about all of this. And he was talking about they're flying in the dead of night. They're flying illegals from the southern border to Florida, and one of them killed a Florida man. And Ron DeSantis is meeting with people in government here and has come up with a proposal that he is not joking when he mentions this. Listen to this. This is Governor Ron DeSantis yesterday.
They come in, they do it, they got a bus. My view would be, why don't we, if they're going to come here, we'll provide buses and provide them. I will send them to Delaware and do that. I mean, if he's not going to support the border being secured, then he should be able to have everyone there. So we will do whatever we can in that regard, and we are absolutely going to do everything we can.
Okay, and he was serious. He is talking about busing the illegals that are dropped off on buses to Delaware, because of course that's where Biden goes every weekend and where he's from, and none of them are being transported to Delaware. That was pretty bold statement yesterday. And when he said that, he had some people behind him. I don't know who they were, but they were smiling ear to ear when he said that. That was like a Trump moment. It was pretty good. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. Now, Mr. Canada, I think we may have heard from Mr. Canada for the last time on the program. I'll give him one warning because I'll give you one warning, only warning. One call per day. And I'm sorry you looked foolish in your first call defending yourself with the guitar, but, get over it, okay? I guess we'll have to screen the calls for the rest of the show, Steve. I'd much rather go screenless. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. I do have some other audio. Did you have somewhere you wanted to go, Steve? Or you want to hear some audio? As long as we're not talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, you're okay?
Anywhere but Rittenhouse.
Really? I'm really surprised. I mean, it seems like a hot topic. I don't know why you're so opposed to it. I don't know.
Were I to respond to the back on the subject that I'm not interested in.
Okay, all right. So Steve is the witness is unresponsive. Biden yesterday was talking about gas prices, and this is a very quick one. You got to listen carefully, so I'm going to turn the volume up all the way. This is Joe Biden yesterday talking about gas prices.
If everything you're paying this much for a gallon of gas, in some parts of California they're paying $4.50 a gallon.
Did you ever think you'd be spending this much money on a gallon of gas? No. Thanks a lot, Biden. I mean, what a strange statement for him to make yesterday. He's like complaining about what he's caused, which are the high gas prices. What is he just? You think? Did you ever think you'd be paying this much for gas? Oh my gosh, it's so high. Well, you know, he shut down Anwar. He shut down the pipeline. He's threatening to shut down another pipeline. I mean, what the hell does he? And he's like, did you ever think you'd be paying this much? Is he saying?
Marveling at his own work.
I think he enjoys the power that he's influencing the prices like this. Sociopathic.
Money. Right.
Now, CNN yesterday had the Commerce Secretary on, who is I cannot remember her name, but she was the governor of Rhode Island. And she's as President Trump says, she's a real beaut. So she's on CNN.
Where is President?
He's at Mar-a-Lago, hopefully listening to us on the radio right now. He's in our listening range. So this is Biden's Commerce Secretary on CNN talking about the price of everything. Listen to this.
If you were still governor of Rhode Island, I understand you're not, would you be hoping or asking for the president
to the president is I would just ask him to keep doing what he's doing.
What the hell is that? Causing prices to go up? Screwing us over.
Facilitating his exit, which comes soon enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, here he is. She would tell him to continue doing what he's doing. Didn't they see the highest rate of inflation since? Was that when Bush 41 or Clinton was president? They said since what was it 1990? So that would have been Bush 41.
I mean,
the highest rate of inflation since Bush 41 was president and just became president, right? I mean, that's like pre-Gulf War, 1990. And she wants him to continue what he's doing?
Yellen from the Federal Reserve, what is it?
Yeah, she's the Treasury Secretary now.
She's totally on their team now. They offered her something.
Yeah, screw the American people over too, so they can't afford dinner over the holiday season. And you win a wonderful prize. You're taken care of financially for the rest of your life with fake jobs that you never have to show up to work at. I mean, this is, you know...
What kind of screw up is it going to take for America to decide?
Well, we do it. Trump in 24, Steve. That's all we got. We got the midterms. It's only 3. Well, the thing that I know it seems like 4 years. The thing about this administration, and the reason I played this with the Commerce Secretary, keep doing what you're doing. That's what I'd say. Keep screwing people so they can't afford food. We were talking about this yesterday. I've never seen, no matter who the president is, a White House and administration that just has zero negative empathy towards the American people and their struggles. They get pissed off when you ask them about food prices and gas prices. I've never seen any other administration do that, regardless of their political affiliation. It's bizarre. It's an administration of sociopaths. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, I was looking at some of the prices at the grocery store that people are paying. Meats are becoming unaffordable for people. I mean, and you need protein for your kids, and it's becoming, without question, unaffordable for people. chicken and beef is, hot dogs are selling probably more than ever right now. And Biden doesn't care. His son's at an art show telling reporters using the F word. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rick from Boca.
Hey, Rick. What's up?
Hi, Steve. I know we don't talk about sports very much, and this is not really a sports topic, but I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought about the penalty, in quotes, that the NFL levied on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, what's the penalty? I don't know what the penalty is. How much?
But nothing that Rodgers can't afford.
Is it a one-time? Or is it going to be like every week or something?
Oh, I don't know. Are you aware of what happened with him, Brian?
I know what happened, but I don't know about the amount and conditions of the fine.
He was fined himself $15,000, and the team was fined $300,000.
Oh my goodness!
Opinion, it's a joke. This is a guy that stood up there, and the Packers were complicit in this. A guy stood up there and lied about his status of being immunized or having taken the vaccine, and didn't follow the protocol. Aren't vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's the fines, but in terms of not being able to play, Green Bay is, or was, before last weekend, the #1 ranked team. They got a great team. They got fans that are loyal fans. They got players, all of whom are going to be suffering too with any fine or anything that keeps Rodgers out of the game. I mean, what would have been fair to the Packer fans as well as to the team? He missed one game. He missed one game and they lost it.
Preferential treatment they got, Steve, because they're the Packers and because he's Aaron Rodgers. That guy should have been suspended.
Oh. Well, listen. Here's the thing. I don't think it's anyone's business what you do medically. I mean, what other medical things do they get involved in? What other medical things do they make you do and don't do?
The point being, Brian, is that the NFL says if you're not...
No. What other medical treatments do they make you get? The NFL.
They don't.
Okay. It's none of their business. Well, so?
In the NFL who are not vaccinated and they are wearing masks whenever they are not playing.
Well, part of the problem is, and we were talking about this briefly yesterday with Steve. Aaron Rodgers was forced to lie. People are being put in a position where they have to pass as vaccinated, and they're putting people in a terrible position. Oh, the NFL said it's okay to take a knee and disrespect the United States. Here we are on Veterans Day. Who cares what the NFL says? Screw them. Bunch of snowflakes.
In the NFL, they have, just like any other company, has the right to set...
Well, that hasn't been decided by the Supreme Court yet, has it all the way? There's a debate in this country as to whether or not they have a right or not. What if the NFL says, as a member of our football team, you cannot have sex with women you are not married to as a condition of employment? Really? They can tell you what to do with your body there too. That's interesting. What they've done is they've turned that show Orange is the New Black? They've turned unvaccinated into the new black of the 50s, where there was a time in this society where many black and Hispanic people that could pass as white did so. And what they're doing is they're forcing and shaming people like Aaron Rodgers to pass. Yeah. I'm 100% of the workforce. Well, then Steve would be breaking Florida law, which he wouldn't do, because Ron DeSantis said so. I listen to Steve. We changed the whole topic of I had a full board of calls, and at the bottom of the hour we changed into politics because Steve didn't want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. So I do what Steve says. I had a full board of calls. Then they hung up real quick, but because we changed topics. But Ron DeSantis says you can't require it. But listen, I don't mean to cut you short, but it's time. We got a break for the gold report, and we're late for the break already. But thanks for the call, and always welcome to hold our feet to the fire. All right, we'll take our break and be back with the gold report right after this break. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Scott,
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Mel.
On their electric bill forever. But right now you're offering a huge discount. Why are you able to save, Steve Kane listeners, so much on Radiant Barrier right now?
Winter is just about upon us, and our guys are able to move really quick, really fast, really efficient in your attic. So if you need any work up in your attic, such as Radiant Barrier...
Steve Kane Show. Oh, I was good. I was just calling you in the line. Hold on. No, he's coming at 9. He'll be here at 9. Yeah. He's got a script written. It should should be pretty easy.
Bill forever. 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, from the Panhandle to Key West and everywhere in between, give them a call. 954-939-1500. Online, cutmykilowatts.com. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, it's that time with the Gold and Precious Metals Report from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, good morning.
Exciting day it is for the precious metals as they continue this incredible breakout and rally. Yesterday we saw gold gaining $17.90 after trading all the way up to about $1,870, closing out the day up $17.90 at $1,849.90 the ounce. Silver closed up 38 cents at $24.63, while platinum was up $7 at $1,067, and palladium was up $7 at $1,967. We have a rally continues this morning as we see gold up now at $1,866. That's up another $16.10. Silver up 58 cents at $25.20 the ounce. Platinum up $23 at $1,090, and palladium up $46 at $2,012. So it looks like that rally that we've been talking about happening has really.
Well, I've heard you say so many times, and this means so much right now, that the metals is a hedge against inflation, right? That's something we hear a lot. And with this government, inflation, they seem to like it. So it's something they're not even trying to stop. So this looks like something that's going to be going on for quite some time, and that's good news for those of you that are in the metals. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. weekdays. You can stop right in, located right here in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. Find them online at williamyoungerman.com. And the number, if you want to call, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And of course, as always, all the metals are in stock, available for immediate delivery. All right, William Youngerman, we will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. And if you're over there when they open, you may see me, because Steve's sending me on an errand. I'm also an errand boy, for those of you. I wear a lot of hats around here. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Mel in Boca. Hey, Mel.
Changing the subject briefly. Morga Ortega, I think is her name. She interviewed Adam Schiff. I don't know if you spell this.
Yes, yeah, we talked about it yesterday, but feel free, on The View, feel free.
Yeah, so he referred to the insurrection as the erection.
Yeah, I know. For sexual dysfunction? Well, at least in him, at least we know what turns him on. You know, the last time I heard something like that is when Chris Matthews said he got a thrill down his leg when Obama spoke together, and they have a special kind of kink. But I'll tell you that lady from Fox, she was the State Department spokesperson for President Trump. She should have her own show on Fox. She did very well with him. Yeah.
The Granholm is the secretary of, what is she?
Missing out by not getting involved in it. You're missing out on something, Steve.
As
Steve
we
Kane
said
show
yesterday in the
Hey,
conversation we had. I would say go with it.
There's 3 more years of Biden and Kamala wrecking America. Can't we take a break for a couple of days? Well, think about that. Think about that while we check in with Janet Cimarelli with the Morning Health Report from AJ's Natural and the Festival Marketplace, who I'm going to see tomorrow. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Hi, Steve. I have some information, really basic for your good health. I'm talking about dehydration. So I talk to so many people, and they're tired. They feel weak. Sometimes they're really irritable, and they don't even know why. A lot of people with headaches, and what are they doing? They're popping a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that are over the counter and, on occasional use, not a problem. But if you're dealing with headaches every single day and you're taking something to reduce that pain, maybe you're dealing with dehydration. It's so simple. So really high quality water. So you can buy bottled water. You can get some really simple filters. And what are those things going to do for you? You're going to have enhanced memory. You're going to have fewer headaches. Your kidneys are going to work better. You're not going to deal with so many of the problems that just little tiny problems that interfere with our everyday existence. So if you're concerned about headaches, inflammation, joint pain, memory, come on in and see me at AJ's Natural Wellness. To help you out.
Yeah, and hydration's important. You hear a lot of stories of seniors having heart attacks going to the bathroom, and a large portion of that is dehydration causing extra strain to go to the restroom. And that's I know it sounds funny to people, but it's not. It's true. That's how Elvis Presley died, absolutely. Now, listen, Janet Cimarelli at AJ's Natural, remember, she introduced Steve and I both to nutraceuticals back in 1998. She is a licensed nutrition counselor, and she is available for free counseling at AJ's. Just bring in your latest blood work if you have it. If not, she can still consult with you. AJ's, the number over there, 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. And AJ's Natural, located in the Festival Marketplace, just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample. And Janet, how would you describe how to find you in the Festival Marketplace? You do better than I do.
Walk in the main entrance, which is named Mardi Gras, and you walk as far back as you can, and then turn to the right, with the store on the right. As you make that turn, you'll see the information booth. We're right across from.
And when you walk all the way back, that's the food court. So that's a good landmark. All right, Janet, have a great day. We'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, Steve, we're out of time. 10 seconds left for you to say goodbye.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, that does it for today. You heard the man. We will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
On
FM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, well, that show flew by. All right, guys, I got to take off. I got some things to do. Before you go, make sure you like the video. Don't leave without liking the video, please. That helps so much. And, of course, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you soon. All right, take care.